Have you ever had a picnic in your backyard or a neighborhood park? On a wintry sunny day, it is fun to spread a blanket out on the ground. After you munch on chips and sandwiches, you can take a little siesta on the blanket. Before your eyes close, you might enjoy staring up at the sky. With your back against the solid ground and your eyes on the clouds above, you can contemplate what a miraculous world we live in. Even though Earth feels solid beneath us and it might seem like we are motionless, we are actually on a giant sphere of rock, dirt and water that is constantly spinning around at the same time that it's hurtling through space around the sun. We know this constant motion takes place, yet we do not feel it. Why is that? Let's find out. Hang on. Have you subscribed to us yet? If not, now is the best time. Please click on the subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it and select all so that you don't miss any of our videos. Now to the intro. Are our human senses not finely tuned enough to detect the rotation of the Earth? Perhaps Earth doesn't rotate fast enough to be felt by humans who are tiny in comparison to Earth. Earth definitely rotates fast enough for humans to feel. Our senses can detect very subtle changes. So what is going on? It is science at work. There are several reasons we don't feel Earth's rotation. Everything in the universe spins. Planets, stars, and even entire galaxies. As Earth formed out of a cloud of gas and dust, gravity pulled everything together. Kind of like water swirls down a drain, all that matter began to spin as it compressed into the ball we know today as Earth. The scientific principle at work causing the spin is known as the angular momentum. The law of conservation of angular momentum is a vast topic of its own, but today is not the time to discuss it. But we will cover that in detail in our upcoming episode, where we would discuss why does the Earth continue to spin, or what happens if the Earth stops spinning. But for the time being, let us stick to the spinning Earth. How fast does the Earth spin? Let us calculate it. The distance around the Earth, called its circumference, is about 24,000 miles. Earth spins on its axis and completes one full rotation in 24 hours. We can divide 24,000 miles by 24 hours to give us Earth's speed of rotation. Therefore, we can conclude that Earth spins at approximately 1000 miles per hour, or around 1609 kilometers per hour. That is fast. At the equator, the speed of rotation is about 1675 kilometers per hour, which means that right this very moment you are traveling at something like 465 meters per second, give or take a few meters depending on your location from the equator. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the spin of a planet is happening at an almost constant rate. If you are being precise, Earth is slowing down ever so slightly thanks to the Moon being a bit of a gravitational drag. It pulls on the tidal bulge of our planet, which causes tidal friction, putting energy into the Moon's orbit. As a result, sometimes we need to add an additional second to our clocks because Earth's rotation is slowing down by 2/1000 of a second every single day. However, because this change in speed is so small for our purposes, it still feels the Earth is rotating at a constant rate. In other words, it feels like nothing at all. The constant spin of the Earth had our ancestors pretty confused about the true nature of the cosmos. They noticed that the stars and the sun and the moon all appeared to move above the earth. Because they couldn't feel the earth move, they logically interpreted this observation to mean that earth was stationary and the heavens moved above us. With the notable exception of the early Greek scientist Aristarchus, who first proposed a heliocentric or a sun-centric model of the universe, hundreds of years the world's great thinkers upheld the geocentric or the earth-centered idea of the cosmos for many centuries. It wasn't until the 16th century that the heliocentric model of Copernicus began to be discussed and understood. While not without errors, Copernicus's model eventually convinced the world that the earth spun on its axis beneath the stars and also moved in orbit around the sun. Have you ever ridden a really fast roller coaster? Roller coasters can travel at 100 kilometers per hour or more. If roller coasters are that fast, can you imagine what it would feel like to feel Earth spin at 1600 kilometers per hour? Wow, that is hard to imagine, isn't it? Despite the fast rotation of Earth, we don't feel it. The main reason is because we, along with everything around us, from trees to skyscrapers, seas to the atmosphere, are moving right along with Earth. We also don't feel Earth spin because Earth's motion is very smooth. When you're traveling in a car on the highway, you're going the same speed as the car. If the ride is smooth, you can read a book and you don't even sense that you are moving. The only time you notice is when the car speeds up, slows down, or rolls over a bumpy patch of road. Since Earth doesn't speed up or slow down like a car on a highway, we never notice its spin. So it all amounts to the acceleration or deceleration. If the Earth decided to take a sudden 90-degree turn on the highway around the sun, we would know that for sure. Think about flying in a plane. As long as the ride is going smoothly, you can almost convince yourself you are not moving. A jumbo jet flies at about 800 kilometers per hour, or about half as fast as the Earth spins at its equator. But while you're riding on that jet, if you close your eyes, you don't feel like you're moving at all. And when the flight attendant comes by and pours coffee into your cup, the coffee doesn't fly to the back of the plane. That is because the coffee, the cup, and you are all moving at the same rate as the plane. Now think about what would happen if the car or plane wasn't moving at a constant rate, but instead speeding up or slowing down. Then, when the flight attendant poured your coffee, look out! And that is why they stop serving food or hot beverages when the flight is going through or approaching a turbulence. Before we end, a quick word for the curious amongst you. So why does Earth spin so constantly? Because there is nothing stopping it. When a solar system formed out of a collapsing dust cloud and spun out into a globe with a bulge in the middle, all the planets inherited that rotation. The Sun, all our neighboring planets, their moons, and everything else scattered in our system is still spinning after billions of years because of inertia. To interfere with that, an external unbalanced force would have to be applied. In simple terms, the Earth would have to collide with some other object and throw the rotation into disarray. More on this and angular momentum in a later video. Earth is moving at a fixed rate and we are all moving along with it, and that is why we don't feel the Earth's spin. If Earth's spin were to suddenly speed up or slow down, you will definitely feel it. So, the next time you gaze up at the clouds or stars, think about how fast Earth is spinning. since you're moving right along with it and the motion is so smooth you don't feel a thing. Did you like this video? Do let us know through our comment section. If you like to hear about any specific topic, do let us know and we will try to bring it for you. So until next time, it's bye-bye from Pale Blue Thoughts, and may the force of science be with you.